Good day, everyone. Super excited to be here. Guess what? I am interviewing Miss Lorna Davis. All right, when she comes up, you guys will get a chance to meet her. She is Lorna Davis of I Am Lorna Davis. All right, so we're going to be doing an interview right now. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. She had the live out. This is an episode of Entrepreneurs Speak, and I'm super excited to be here to share Lorna Davis with you guys. So as she comes up, we'll make sure that she gets in here so that you guys can get a chance to meet her. I'm so excited to share her with you. So when I'm doing an interview, it's all about the person who's on the other side, right? It is about making sure you guys get a chance to know them and get enlightened about the business that they're actually running. So I'm so excited to be able to share her with you today. So I know that she is joining. Hello, hi Cassandra. I'm excited about everything that's going down. So I'm super, super excited. So this is an episode of Entrepreneurs Speak. Yes, thank you. And I'm waiting for my guest to get on, and then we're going to get started with sharing her with you. So I am Coach Tomeka James. I'm actually a life and business coach. I actually am a life and business coach that is from the beauty industry. So I decided to put my shears down to be able to do more of this part of the work that I really wanted to do. So I'm always excited about being able to do different things. I love sharing messages with everyone who is interested in knowing more about business. I'm super excited about all of those things. Now, another thing that I love doing right now is helping those of you who want to build your courses out. That's one of my main things. And I share that because it's the thing that took me from behind the chair. So if any of you are in a particular space where you're looking to do something different with your life, you don't have to be a cosmetologist and then go into course. You just have to be a person that decides that you want to make some difference in your life. You want something different. All right, there she is. All right.
Hello.
Yes. Hello.
Hello,
How are
hello,
you?
hello. I'm good, looking beautiful per usual.
All right. You too. You too. All right. Glad to have you today. I'm super excited to interview you. So you've been on the go? Oh my goodness.
Gosh, I've been on too much of a go. I need to sit down at this point. But yeah, just kind of traveling and meeting people and networking a little bit now that COVID has calmed down. And so the last 4 weeks have just kind of been crazy.
That's good. It's very good to be busy, so I'm excited for you. So I'm glad that we're here today. I want to share you with the world, okay? This is Entrepreneurs Speak, is the podcast, and this will be found here, right here on Instagram, as well as it'll be found on YouTube on Entrepreneurs Speak, okay? So I'm excited to share you as much as I possibly can because you're
Yes.
amazing. So let's
Thank
do it,
you.
Lorna. Let's do it. All right.
Yes, let's go.
All right. I like for my guests to introduce themselves, and I say that because I already know about you. But what I know to be true is that the things you want people to know about you will easily come out. So I want you to go ahead and tell us your name and where you're from and what it is that you actually do, and then we're going to dig in. All right.
Sure,
You
sure,
got the
sure.
floor.
So, Lorna Davis, also known as the Project Maverick. I am originally from Brooklyn, New York. I'm now residing in Atlanta, Georgia, kind of split. And what we do is we specialize in project management offerings, so specifically to women of color. And our goal is to get more leaders into the room, build confidence, and build that gap for freedom, financial freedom, essentially. And teaching women just how to empower themselves to be confident, to feel like they can be leaders and feel like they're not being beat up and have opportunities in the project management space. So that's what we do here at the Project Maverick.
All right. Now tell me, why did you choose to mostly work with women?
It's just a deficit in project management of women. Like growing up in my career, I think I was the only woman in the room often. And I mean, now it's gotten a little better. You may see one or two sprinkled here or there, but there's so much opportunity for women to kind of come in, get a seat at the table, and provide their point of view, their way, right? Not conforming, their way, and still get the job done. And I think we're lacking a lot of self-sabotage, right? Because we don't see enough of us in there. We think we're not supposed to be there. Well, that was the whole purpose of my program, right? To teach you how to be in the room, and not just be in the room, but make the difference and shift the expectation in the room.
Ooh, okay, let's start talking about what is project management, and I want to know about your shift, because you were corporate and now you've made a shift. So, all right, tell us what project management specifically is so that everyone is clear on what that is. And then I want to know about your shift. All right.
Oh, absolutely. So project management in a nutshell is getting it done, right? Companies have a deficit in or a business need to produce a thing or a service, and project managers go in, get an understanding of the reason for that deficit. They collaborate the team, they understand the budget, they get clear on what type of work needs to happen, and then they essentially are the captain of that ship to make sure it gets done. And so that's project management in a nutshell.
Okay. Are these large or small projects that you assist people with?
So personally, I only do large, what we call enterprise projects. So usually upwards of $2 million to $10 million. But there are smaller projects out there as well that people do. But yeah, I do over 2 mil.
All right. Okay, let's go. I love those numbers.
All right. You know I do.
Now, okay. Corporate. You were corporate and now you made a shift. Talk to us about it. Why did you start there, and then why did you shift?
I think I started in corporate because that's what I was told to do, right? I went through that conform system of completing my degree. I was a computer programmer for a long time. I worked under project managers, and I really was looking for ways to amplify my existing skill set. And I did that by kind of jumping into W-2 positions, companies, getting an understanding of what they're doing. And I don't regret it because I work for some of the best companies in the world. So they taught me a really good skill set. And then I just got to a point where I started building relationships and kind of really got good at what I was doing. And people started to recognize it. And I kind of shifted over into a consulting type of arena. And I took on one contract, and then I started getting called for other contracts. And I'm like, well, I can only be in one place at one time. Right. So now I got to build a team, and it just kind of morphed and kind of did its own thing. And that's kind of how I'm here today.
Okay. So I'm excited that you did originally take the corporate route. You learned a lot while you were there. You also built a lot of great relationships. Can you talk about some of the relationships that you built? Let's talk intentionally. The intentional relationships you built when you knew that you were on your way out. Let's talk about it.
Well, first of all, I hate networking. I promote it hard, okay? Like, I am definitely that person. I will tell you to make sure you network. It has made me a lot of money. But I'm not the person who enjoys the networking aspect of it. But I'm also very strategic. So I knew, and I saw the shift. And quite frankly, even being an introvert or ambivert or whatever vert you want to be, at the end of the day, you have to have companies and people who want to pay you, right? And so I knew that. And so I was just very strategic about talking to customers that I may have already had. And I'm like, hey, I'm making a shift, just putting it out in the air so you know what's happening. And then I also, would do like dinners, or I would do, hey, I'm in town. Hey, let's grab some coffee, right? Let's just have a quick mingle for an hour. So it's not always about the money. It's also about, let's just have some casual conversation. So now when they have these deficits and they need someone to come in and fix this issue, I'm at top of brain, right? So that was my strategy. Every week I would connect with at least 3 new people. Now, would all of those work out? No, and that's fine, right? The natural filtration system just happened. But with that being said, a lot of them did. And to this day, I get calls from people I worked with 10 years ago. I'm like, you still remember me? Like, okay, yeah, let's do it, right? So people hire people. I don't care if you're working in a building or you're doing your own thing. People hire people, right? It's that know, like, trust thing. And so we talk about it a lot in business, but it's true. If you're W-2, if you're a contractor, it's the same thing. They hire you, and then they decide to bring the business in.
Okay, I'm so excited that you shared that, because too often we don't pay attention to the networking aspect. And I'm doing a networking class today, so I'm super
I
excited
saw
to
it.
share. So
I saw
I'm going to take your strategy and I'm going to interject it into my class today to make sure that everyone who's there will learn how to connect with high level individuals, how to have those coffee chats and things like that. They're super important. So yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Now let's talk about the fact that you decided to go corporate. I mean, you decided to exit from corporate. Talk about when you made the change. What kind of things did you have to do when you left to really get your business rolling?
I kind of went on a leap of faith. I didn't do it organized. I just knew what I was doing at that current moment was just not working. And so, though I did talk about like doing the networking thing, I was doing that as a W-2. You should be doing it, period, right? But I just knew I wanted to do my own thing, and I wanted to have a little bit more control over what I did on a day-to-day basis, where my money was coming from, how much I was getting. So I think for me, I kind of someone reached out and said, "Hey, I have a consulting project for you to jump on," and I'm like scared to death because I've always had the paycheck every 2 weeks. It was very clear what I was getting paid. This was something different. At any given time, you can be cut. I was not ready for that as a single mom, right? So I really took that leap of faith and was just like, Lorna, you can do this. Like, if it doesn't work out, it's not the end of the world. You have options, right? So I just kind of jumped out and started doing it. And then as I got that first contract within the first 30 to 60 days, I literally stepped myself up as a business. Like in my mind, I was going to be bigger than what I was doing anyway. So anything I touch is going to be big, right? That's what I think. That's what I feel. And that's what it is. So, I set up my business and it just kind of took off from there from a consulting standpoint. Like that contract ended. Another one just started. I mean, it was literally end on Friday, start on Monday. That's the kind of flow I had. So I guess I've just been blessed with it. But I say, be strategic about every move. My strategy was, this company it was a Fortune 500 company. I knew they had the money to pay. I knew they had the problem, and I knew I had the team to support.
Oh, wait, so but isn't that the business? There's a problem, and then you solve the problem for someone else.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Let that take us into you telling us exactly what your business is all about, whatever you want us to know about your business, your project management business. How does it run? Whatever you want to share with us. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so we've been talking a lot about the consulting leg, but we've kind of branched out to the training leg as well. So I've been doing training, project management, PMP training, and that's just like the certification to become a project management professional. And I've been doing that for about 5 years. And I noticed in doing that training, it's kind of like going to college, but not really knowing what to do the first day of work, right? They don't give you what to do. So my programs, the cultivator program, teaches PMs how to be that go-to person, be very clear about how to bring value to the table immediately so that you are now that go-to person, and also teaches them how to control their income so they have that freedom. If you look at my stories, and I'm always somewhere. I love going to Europe. I love views. I love those types of things, but I never let it compromise my money because I never was open to doing that. And so a lot of people think back to, your original question of why did you do, corporations? Because that's what I was told I was supposed to do, right? But that's not the only way to do it, okay? And that's what we kind of teach in the cultivator program. How do you be a rock star project manager? And how do you become that person that's not applying, but people are applying to work with you?
I would love to know when we hear the word project manager, the words project manager, and then we hear event planner. Is there a same or a difference there?
It's the same. And, I personally feel like project management is everywhere. Like there is nowhere in your life that you're not doing or managing some form of project, whether it be personal or not. So if I was looking at the event planner example you're giving, an event requires vendors to be called. An event requires material, location, food, like all of this stuff. You essentially have to plan that stuff out, get the right people to get the work done, make sure they're getting paid, make sure the event is happening on time with the right people, with all these things. That's project management in itself, right? So, and then if you look at a simpler example, just getting the kids out of getting the kids out the door for the day, right? Hey, get the shoes, get the hat. Did you eat? Da-da-da. That's project management too, right? So it's everywhere. It's essentially everywhere. We just use this nice, pretty word or acronym called project management, but it's the act of getting things done in an organized function strategically.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that. Now, how long does it take for someone to connect with you, learn about project management, and be up and running and doing whatever they need to do?
So it always depends on what you're wanting to do, but usually 30 to 60 days. 30 to 60 days. Yeah. We have two programs. I'm sorry.
Say that again.
Yeah, we have two programs. We have the
tell us about it. Break it down. We need to know.
Yeah. We have two. We have the group program that's 8 weeks where we meet weekly and we go through each piece of thing that you need to know to be successful and be that value add and go-to person immediately. And then you have a group of people where you can kind of bounce ideas off of that are kind of in the same locations and places you are, and you have that support system. And then we also have the one-on-one program. When you work with me, I'm essentially in your back pocket, right? We build out your customized plan. We figure out what makes sense for your success path, and we work on that for 12 weeks, okay? And then we also have our one-on-one training for PMP certification. So for people who are looking to get that certification because they see it, the comma, the companies like it, I love it, and we're here to teach you how to get it. So those are the key programs that we have.
Okay. All right. Well, tell us, you might as well say it right now. How does a person get involved? How do they sign up?
Well, we got multiple ways. You can go to my website, lornadavis.com. You can send us a DM. My entire team of people, the Project Maverick, we're waiting and ready for you. We have a challenge that's coming up on Monday as well. You guys can jump on that. It's going to be a 7-day challenge. We're going to teach you how to brand yourself to be that know, like, trust person. So you're not just applying, they're applying for you, right? And then you can also send us emails to info@theprojectmaverick.com. So multiple ways. My team is here to help anytime.
Okay. All right. Okay. There is a challenge that's coming up.
Yes,
okay.
Girl, yes.
Project management. Now I want to reiterate something that you said earlier because I'm watching some of the people that are coming on. Mm-hmm. You said that project management literally is basically managing anything you really need to handle. It could be as small as the children in the house to as big as a really large project, over $2 million, right? So they need to sign up no matter what, so they can get in here, get the information, and then be able to make a choice on whether they're going to really move forward. That's more so what challenges are about, right? Getting a person to get started, to begin to make a choice whether they're going to really move forward. So, all right, I just wanted to say that because it was kind of like what you said earlier in regards to the fact that this is like, it's vast as far as what project management really is. Okay, the challenge, 7 days. Oh my God.
7 days. Yes, 7 days starts Monday, October 10th at 7:30. And the goal there is to start from scratch. I see so many people, not just in project management, just people in general, that don't get these key opportunities or not really clear how to display themselves and project themselves in both the digital and a personal perspective. And the goal there is to kind of start from scratch, right? Let's figure out what you have in place. Let's follow the rules of engagement accordingly. And let's make sure that your brand is highlighting your superpower, which is essentially you, right? So that comes down to, do you have a photo? Number one. Are you explaining yourself to the point where the company is like, I need you right now. You are the one I've been looking for all my life. How do I reach you, right? And so we're going to go through all of that and essentially talk about the confidence and talk about the certification. Some people think you have to have certifications in project management to make money. I've made over 6 figures. I didn't have my certifications. I got them, but I didn't need them, right? So we're going to break that down as well. Really get you in a position so that you're ready and pushing yourself for success.
All right. Okay. I love how you're going to break it down because even down to a photo. And by the way,
Mm-hmm.
let me just give you some compliments. I probably already did, but I love your photos. You take great photos.
Oh,
You
thank
really
you.
do. Oh my gosh, you always look great. Now, how often do you
Thank
do photo
you.
shoots? You're welcome. How often do you do photo shoots?
Um, Gosh, I usually don't let it go past 2 months. This, I'll be honest with you, it's been 4 months, which is usually not my schedule, but I usually try to keep it every 2 months. Why? Because we change. As women, things just kind of change, right? And then also, your audience just needs to see different angles and different parts of you, right? And so I'm not asking for people to do the frequency that I do. I mean, I have an entire business to run here, right? But at least have something that represents you and where you're going versus you hiding behind a picture and how do I hire you and pay you top dollar as a high ticket project manager, and you're not even displaying or projecting in your photos. Like, it's all a picture, right? It's all perception is reality, and so that's essentially what we're going to be talking about.
Okay. And well, it makes sense because what they see is what they make people make a choice based on what they see. Now, I'd love for you to tell us from with your own words, who who is your avatar? Who do you really help by your own words? Who really
Yes.
needs to get into this challenge? Who are your clients? Who are you supporting? Because a business is in place because it supports a particular audience. So tell us who you really support.
So I support the women who are feeling beat up. I support the women who feel like they're not being acknowledged for all of the hard work that they're doing. I support the women who have lack of confidence. I support the women who have full capability, but are not clear on the roadmap of how to attain it. I support the people who are looking for more, that to level up and do it the right way, expeditiously. Okay, and so our entire avatar is about really identifying your strengths, getting a clear understanding of where you're wanting to go, removing
Mm-hmm.
those blockers, and getting you into those tiers within a year, period. And that could be someone who is, maybe in another position, like a salesperson, or you're a single mom, right? Maybe you were working, you stopped for a little bit to take care of the kids. That could be someone who is actually a project manager, but not really getting the money they should get, or not getting the recognition, and kind of feel stuck and stagnant. Those are our key people. Those are the people that we elevate and propel into that level of success, so that you now have the ability to have choices. You have the ability to do things that make you happy without compromising your income.
All right. I love it. And we started off speaking about the fact that you do help women. Now, Lorna, tell us something about your life because we could talk about this business thing all day and we'll
Oh,
talk a
yeah.
little bit more. But based upon what you've learned and the business that you run, what kind of life do you actually live? You told us a little bit about traveling, but if we have to tell everyone what they get as a result of what you'll help them to do in life, tell us about your life.
Whoo, it's crazy, girl. It's crazy. But it is crazy. But let me tell you something. I started from very what they call humble beginnings, right? I didn't have much growing up, and I had to learn and do at the same time. And so there's nothing in my life that would have prepared me for where I am today. There was no
Yes.
signals or no signs that told me I would be where I am today. And to answer your original questions of where am I am that person who, I love to travel. I love meeting new people. I love eating good food. I love, views. I love new things. And I love making money. And I get a chance to do both of them at the same time. You know, that's just a crazy life. I have freedom. I did so much I wouldn't even say half, over the first half of my life because I had to. I was a single mom. You just don't shift like that when you have a responsibility to take care of the home. And when I finally got a chance to get out of my own way and just kind of believe in the process and trust the process, it allowed me to have this level of freedom that some days I check and be like, "This is me. Is it really me? Okay, it's me. Yeah, it's me. Okay, all right. Yeah, right." But yeah, no, that's my life. right? And I'm very blessed to have these things. I don't have to question, do I want A or B? I can get both if I want, but the just having the option is my lifestyle right now. I have options. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that authentically. And I wanted people to hear that because, you know, all day long we could show people pictures and videos and different things. But for us to hear how it feels to you and the things that you can actually do, that's where we're really aiming to go. We don't
Yeah,
necessarily just want $5 more in our pocket. That's not necessarily it. It's what does it do for us? What kind of life do we
exactly.
really get? Do we have
Yeah,
to still worry about this, that, and the other? And, you
yeah,
know, I just love that you just shared that with us. So I hope that
yeah,
anyone that is listening, that you heard that sincerely from her. She came from humble beginnings, and this is where she is at this point in time. And you have
yeah.
been building your business somewhere around the 5, 6 year mark, right?
Yeah, 5 or 6 years, but I really didn't see the return. I didn't take it seriously until maybe 2 to 3 years ago. And the moment I started taking it seriously, that's when I actually saw the results. It's like you get in, you get out what you put in, right?
Okay, what did you do to take it serious? Tell us about that because there are a lot of people today who are using, kind of have this hobby at first, right? Something you're excited to do, and then you move a little further, but then you decided to take it seriously. What did that really look like for you?
So, a lot of late nights and a lot of early mornings. Okay, that's number one. I literally became fixated with my business, and once I got the first client, I'm like, gosh, what if I multiplied that by whatever? That means there was no limitation here, right? Versus my mindset that was already on the limitation of, you know, that check is coming in 2 weeks, bills will be paid. It was more about how do I cultivate this thing so that I'm complementing a true problem in the industry? And how do I know it's a problem? Because I was my own avatar. I was that person, right? So I really sat down and I got really serious about how do I get my stuff together from a business perspective so that I'm taken seriously? And how do I build this thing so that people understand what we're doing and why we're doing? And so that required, you know, I built out a full strategy, a full roadmap for the business. I pulled in several team members. I got a media team. I got an advertisement team. We sit down weekly and go over our roadmaps the same way I would for a W-2. It's just now for me. So when I say taking it seriously, I'm talking about sometimes 12, 14-hour days, right? But it's for me. It's for what I'm doing versus for another company. And the moment I started to do that, and I'm not going to even lie to you, there are some tough times. There are some times I'm just like, what am I doing? Okay, what is going on?
Mm-hmm.
What is does this even make sense to do? But then there are better times where I say, I'm so glad I did this. This is it. This is why I did it. Like just to see the accomplishments from my students, my mentees, my clients. It just it's fulfilling.
How do you get yourself out of that moment where you decide to do something new and you look at it, you say, whoa, this is bigger than where I am. I'm not sure if I should do it. How do you push past that space? I think people need to hear that.
Yeah. First thing I do is pray, right? Because if you're not doing something that you're scared of, that's you're fearing, then you're not doing the right thing anyway. You shouldn't be in your comfort level for your business, right? So I literally have to get out of my own head, number one. Number two, get clear and remind myself as to why did I do this? Why did I even start it? Right? Refocusing myself. And then my circle of business support is just like amazing. Like there's just some times where you need to talk to another business owner
Mm-hmm.
and just be very transparent about it. Girl, today ain't the day. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not feeling it. And just to hear them say, you know, don't forget what you're doing. Look at all these people that you've helped. You're going to stop right now. You have to remember those things. So we're going to have those ruts. We're going to have those times where everything is not great. We're going to have, it's really bad. But if you stop there, then you'll never get a chance to see the times where it's really good. And you'll never get a chance to have that story or that testimony to give to someone else that may potentially be in your position at a later date. It builds you, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you choose whether you're going to let it break you or build you. That's your choice.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's what I do.
Well, I'm glad that you keep going. I'm glad you're here. I would love to know, when it comes down to, you had to build a team, you had to get some other people in place. What were some of the things that you remember that you didn't really want to pay for, but you're glad that you paid for, so that you can get to this next level?
Whew. Everything. I hate paying for stuff. But at the end of at the end of the day, listen, I have this conversation often of people that are just, they have that scarce mentality, like holding on to this money, like it's going to the grave with you. And what I had to really learn is, putting that money out allowed me to make 3 times fold versus me sitting trying to do 75 jobs. Like, there's no way for you to be efficient. You can't be tactical in your business and also be the visionary as well. Not when it's growing to a certain magnitude. So, I don't just give to give. I give with strategy. So if I'm going to give you 2,000 to do whatever, you show me what is the return on result. Like, what are we going to see here, right? Where that 2,000 is now being absorbed and now we're profiting from it, where it's building towards the business. And so that's the mindset I have to have, right? Changing the mindset to say, don't hold on to the money, right? The money will come. As you build value and deliver value, the money will come. Just be clear about why you're spending that money. And don't forget to pray. Like, that's so important.
Right. Throw that in. Actually, throw that in every single day,
I'm
maybe more
telling
than
you.
once or twice a day.
Girl,
Okay.
yes.
That's
Yes.
how I start
Amen.
my day. I start with prayer, and I start with being grateful for everything I currently have. Because you know what? If you
Absolutely.
can't be grateful for what you have, how can you get more? You
But we
have.
get, I'm so glad you say that, because sometimes, you get so caught up on what you don't have.
Right.
So you forget to just be like, and this is a lesson for myself that I had to go through recently, where I was just like, I'm like a dog with a bone when I'm looking at a goal, right? So if I don't attain that goal as I planned it out, I'm like, I failed. But what I had to reteach myself again was, it doesn't mean you failed. It just means maybe we have to shift the goal, right? And don't forget to stop and look at how far you've come.
I
Like,
was
just
gonna say
stop for a
that.
minute. Yeah, just stop. If you just step back and do a review of how far you've come, it's like, wow, this is crazy. This is, because, as a business owner, you just going sometimes. You don't get a chance to look. You just going. Like, the days flush into the days, the weeks flush into the weeks. You don't stop. And I'm telling you now, taking that moment to just breathe, look at what you've done, I'm telling you, that's motivation in itself.
Yeah. I remember when I got my first high ticket client as a coach.
Yeah.
And I remember that I had a goal of getting blank amount of clients, right? And
Yeah.
I said to myself, wait, you got the first one. You have to
Right.
celebrate. Whoa, wait. Just
Yep.
because you didn't hit this goal, you still hit this goal. You have to
Mm-hmm.
start somewhere, and you have to remember
Yep.
to celebrate. So tell me,
Yep.
what do you do to celebrate when you
Um,
hit something, anything?
so usually it pertains to spa, some kind of good food.
Uh-huh.
Um, depending on the type of celebrate, like depending on the milestone we've acquired, it may be a trip. Just taking time away to be like, yes, this happened. To your point, I didn't used to do that. It was just like, check, next thing, check, next thing. Now I'm like, no, I'm going to the spa. And then actually I'm going to go to that restaurant I really like, and I'm just going to sit here and have dinner and just enjoy it. And, we'll get working tomorrow, right? So it's really about celebrating the business, celebrating the accomplishment. And I make sure that takes place. And I take my team out, give them gift cards, all of these things, because it motivates them, right, to move forward. Me, myself included.
Yeah, so you gave a lot of things that people need to hear about. You just gave them very lightly. You just spoke about, because I don't know if everyone caught it. I give my team gift cards. I basically let them
Yeah,
know where they stand. I thank them. Those are things that I think a lot of people forget to do, to go back and make sure those that
absolutely.
are working with you understand that you do appreciate them, because they're human. So,
Mm-hmm.
okay, how often do you meet with your team
At
to
least
discuss
daily.
anything with them?
At least daily. We
Daily.
meet at least minimum of 15 minutes a day. And it doesn't
Okay.
have to be a full, layout, just what's going on, everything okay. And then we chat literally all day. Yeah.
All right. What types of things happen when the meetings don't happen?
Confusion, misalignment. So my team is pretty well versed with one another, but one slot or miss of communication can mess up the whole entire day, sometimes the whole entire week. So, when we don't have that means of communication, it's very clear. It's very apparent, and it's a part of our lessons learned. So even if we're chatting and connecting really quickly for 15 minutes to say, hey, where do we stand? What issues are we having? Those kind of things, that helps us move forward with efficiency.
Okay. All right. Very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
What do you wish that you knew a lot sooner?
To trust myself more and have more confidence in myself. A lot of the times when you're like the leader, you're making decisions yourself, right? You don't really have someone to kind of bounce ideas off of. And so when I initially started my business, I would listen to everyone. And I'm like, but everyone is not me. And they're not running my business the way I'm running it. And they're not in the vision that I'm in. So I still listen, but I decide what goes into implementation. I decide what will happen with the business because I know the best interest of the business. And allowing myself to trust myself. It got to a point where I was second guessing myself. And I'm a big believer. Like if I was mentoring a person, I would say, don't second guess yourself. But then I go right around and second guess myself, right? So I had to stop doing that. Like trust the process. Just because something didn't work out the way it was supposed to does not mean it's wrong. Sometimes it needs to happen that way for the right way to take place. So just trusting the process and knowing that the level of success is there, being consistent, and being true and authentic.
Yeah. And it's so true. And when you said sometimes things happen, things always happen so that we will learn a lesson so that
That's
we'll be
right.
better at it the next time. It's like
Absolutely.
always. So
Absolutely.
do you
Absolutely.
do you remember a lesson that you could share with us that you did not know, you did something, and then you were like, oh my gosh, anything you could think of? Any type of lesson
Yeah.
in business you wish you would have actually learned or actually sooner?
Yeah. So a good example of it would be this cultivator program that I talked to you about, those two programs, that was supposed to happen years ago. And it's so crazy. I told you I started off like training and like PMP, like getting people ready for certifications. And I did that for a couple of years, and I still do it actually. And the topic of what the cultivator program was about just kept coming up. And I'm like, see, this is what I'm talking about second guessing yourself. Had you had not just put the thing in place, stop double guessing, just put it out there. If it doesn't work, don't worry about it. If it does, amazing. I'm like 3 years behind the bucket now, right? But am I really? Maybe the program just wasn't ready. I don't know. I'm not going to question. I'm not going to go there. Point of the matter is, I should have just followed my gut at that point. Because that would have been 3 years of learning things. That would have been 3 years of contouring it to something else or maybe something better. I don't know. But I learned in that moment when we got our first student, they asked a question that I would have not known 3 years ago. I was like, that's why
That's
we had to
it.
wait 3 years.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. So there's no regret, right? It took place exactly when it was supposed to happen. No mistakes, right? Just lessons. And it allowed me to understand that sometimes we're just not ready for that thing at that moment. Just because we think that's the plan, that may not be the actual plan of execution at that particular time.
Yeah, so true. So yeah, just keep going and
Yeah.
do what you choose to do, and just keep
Mm-hmm.
going. That's it. I don't know. I'm ad-libbing here, but
No, be consistent. Keep going. Keep moving. Don't let anybody stop you. If they're not team, whatever your name is, Lorna, then they're not on the team. That's it. Don't let anybody stop what you have going. Not even yourself. Sometimes we're our biggest blockers. Keep pushing.
I think of something else to ask you right now. It is about having team and letting
Mm-hmm.
go of someone when you should let go of them. Have you experienced that yet? I'm sure you have. That person
I'm
that's on
actually
the
pretty
team,
good at it. Yeah,
and
I'm
you
really good at
know
it.
it's they're not supposed to still be on this team, and you've tried and you've kept going. Tell us about those types of things, that something someone should hear from your mouth.
So it's really important to separate business and personal, especially as it relates to people that are working for you. And that's why I don't hire family, right? I personally do not hire family, um, because I will let you go. And it took me a long time to get here. I used to be the person, I would cry before I had to let someone go, because I was like, oh my God, how are they going to feed their kids? Oh my God, they have a dog. Like, I'm all this stuff I'm thinking versus what I should be thinking about. It's a disadvantage to my business. And at the end of the day, this is not a personal move. This is a business move. And though it's not working here, I'm freeing you so you have the opportunity to be great somewhere else, because it's not here. Like, it's never going to work, because this is just not the correct relationship. It's like being in a relationship and dating the wrong guy, right? Like, it's never going to be right, because it's not the right person. These two people just don't make sense. So, I don't let go quickly. I do give the opportunity for people to grow. I give the opportunity for people to correct. But at the end of the day, talking about the money situation again, that's costing me money. And one thing we can't compromise is the quality or the money of my business ever, because that is my brand, right? So the moment we're not displaying that, then we have to have a conversation about what makes sense for all of us. So I say let go.
Mm-hmm.
Let
All
go.
right. Listen, everyone, you heard it. You heard it. I am asking the questions about the things that are going on behind the scenes, the things that a lot of times we don't talk about. Because
Yep.
if we're just hearing, oh, do this and this in business, what about when something actually is not done well? What do you do? How
Correct.
long do you keep someone? So I love that you
Correct.
just shared that you will work with them, but then when it compromises what your business is looking like to the rest of the world, okay, that's it, because that's on the outside now.
Absolutely.
We
Yeah.
there's no
Yeah.
longer back in control. Like, we're not back here hiding what's going on. Everyone can see this.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. And quite frankly, they see it as Lorna doing it. So my
Right?
team
Oh,
messes
isn't
up.
that true?
They don't care. They could care less that this whatever person did whatever in your business. Like, this is your business. So that's another reason why I let go. Like, we can't have it, because this is my brand. My name is on it. My face is like full fledged. And at the end of the day, I want the same service that I would get at an organization. And so I try to treat my clients that same way. I train my people coming in. I don't care if you're a salesperson, a custodian, I train on quality. You have to represent our company no matter where you go. And if you can't do that, again, this is not a good fit. It's that simple. It's that simple.
Whew, I love it. All right, so let's recap what your business is about, and then let everyone know the things that you actually have going on right now, because you have a couple of things, and I want them to hear about all of it. So your business, what is it about, and
Yeah.
then tell us the things that are going on right now.
Yeah. So Project Maverick, again, talking about project management, getting you into those positions, elevating yourself, and essentially teaching anyone that's interested in project management. Don't think you have to be a project manager to be involved in our program, called the Cultivator. We have two programs. We have a group program where you have that support, weekly check-ins, 8 weeks, and we build out a plan for your success. And then, of course, you have the one-on-one with me, where you will essentially have me in your back pocket to kind of go through that customized plan for success for you. Don't forget to attend our webinars and challenges. We actually have a challenge coming up next Monday, starting at 7:30. It's a 7-day challenge where we talk about how to brand yourself. So you have that know, like, trust. So companies are essentially coming to you in your inbox or your DMs, and allowing you to have that financial freedom that you desire. So I hope to see you soon. Check out our website, lornadavis.com. Send us a DM, email. Can't wait to talk to you guys.
All right, thank you so much. So everyone that is listening, I hope you were taking some notes about the things that we were discussing, because there were a lot of gems in the conversation. What I love about podcasting is that, yes, we're interviewing, we're talking, but there are these little things that are the things that you most often miss. So I love to have a great conversation about those things. And then I also was really glad that Lorna was able to tell us about the life that she's living. Everything that she's offering leads to a particular lifestyle. It's not about just making extra money. It's what does the money get you? So we have to really take a look at the end result opposed to just all the little things in between. But if you guys are excited about what she has to offer, make sure you make the connection. Do it right here while we're on the live. This live will also be here. It'll be available for you guys to watch later. And it'll be on Entrepreneur Speak with Tomeka James, the podcast, which is located on YouTube. And it's also located on, where is it? Apple, everywhere. All of the places that podcasts are located. Okay? It's syndicated. It's syndicated, okay? So just podcast. But so I'm excited. I thank you so much for sharing you with us today. Just keep spreading your light, keep helping the women that you're supporting, and just giving of yourself. And I'm excited about everything that you know and everything you're sharing. I'm glad that you shared your journey with us, because someone needs to know that they can come from corporate and they can do this thing like you did it. You did it scared and you just kept going and you keep growing, which is beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Tomeka. It's a pleasure being here. Thanks, guys.
All right, so we're closing out, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. So have a great day, and make sure that you are connecting and following her. Her information will be down below, so I'll give you everything you need to know to connect with her properly. All right, bye, Lorna. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Okay, bye.